Hello everyone. So today I thought we'd do a meditation outside since it's such a beautiful day. We are almost at summer. We have about I think 10 more days until summer hits. So today, kind of what I wanted to talk about before we get into meditating is one of the biggest pitfalls that I think a lot of people fall into when they're getting into meditation. And that's this idea that you need to be completely thoughtless when you're meditating. So for the longest time, I thought this was what I had to do, so I was trying so hard, and I would get so upset because I'm like, oh, I'm still having all these thoughts, I'm doing it wrong. So one of the biggest things to understand is your thoughts. I want you to think of it as almost like another one of your senses. So like touch, taste, feel. It's just going off of the information it has. So for example, sometimes when you listen to a song on repeat a bunch of times, and then your brain just keeps playing that song over and over again. That's kind of how your brain works. You're gonna be repeating things you've heard in the day, you're probably repeating things you heard 10 years ago, but your mind is just constantly going. And that's totally okay. And that's what is the hardest part to understand when you're meditating, is it's not that you don't have thoughts, it's you don't invest in them. So for example, when you're looking at the clouds, and you could be looking at the clouds and you could say like, oh, that looks like a bunny rabbit. Oh, but what kind of bunny rabbit? And so then you start thinking about like all these other things about that bunny rabbit when you could just be enjoying the sky for what it is. So basically, like, what you do is when you realize that you're in the middle of a thought, because you're going to have a thought regardless of what it is. It's actually kind of a cool exercise to do, is if you kind of just stop and you're like, I wonder what thought is gonna come into my head next. Since you kind of like put the stop on things and it's just your brain just spitting out whatever next thing it thinks of. So for example, like if you close your eyes and you're thinking like, oh, am I doing this right? Oh, this. Basically, like the best way to think of it is, again, with that analogy of the clouds. So you're thinking of the rabbit. Well, instead of like where you're like, oh, is that a rat? Just don't even pay attention to it. Just let it drift by and do not continue with that thought. So the best way to say it is you're not investing any more time into that thought. You're just letting it go by, and you're just centering yourself and trying to not think of other things. You're trying to just be in the present moment and feel. And one of the best ways to do that too is you always hear this thing like, oh, focus on your breath. But basically what that does is it takes you from a thought space into a feeling space, because now you're like, okay, I'm feeling my chest going up and down. And you're focusing on that feeling as opposed to like different thoughts that are going to be coming into your head. Like for example, like if we're sitting outside here now, I could decide that I'm going to switch my perception to the wind that I'm feeling against my skin. So I could instead of investing myself in the next thought I'm gonna have, I'm just gonna go back to that feeling sense of feeling the wind. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna do some meditation. So remember, just if you have any thoughts, just let it go by just like the clouds and just keep enjoying that view. All right, and remember too, you can keep your eyes open, you can close your eyes, you can do whatever you want, because this is your meditation and there's so many different ways to meditate, so make it your own. All right, so let's get started. All right, we'll do a short meditation today because I want to get back to working out and stretching. And so one thing that I wanted to say just before we leave is that, well, I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come to me. I remember now. So with this kind of tool that I'm teaching you about the clouds and kind of letting them pass, I feel like that's helped me so much on just a day-to-day basis, because sometimes like I'll be thinking like, oh, I gotta be doing this project, or oh, I'm so behind on this, or I should be doing this. And really like what this helps you to do is, since you're like letting these thoughts drift by and you're not investing in them, it teaches you to do that more often. So for example, if one time you're anxious and you're like, oh, I should be doing this, oh, is this person looking at me the wrong way, oh, is this, what you can do is you can remember this tool and just let that thought just drift by, because again, you don't have to invest in that thought anymore. And the thought, it's just a sense, it's not who you are. Like if you think a thought, that's not defining who you are. That's just that moment in time, what you're thinking, and kind of just what jargon spits out, you know. So that doesn't define you, it doesn't mean anything. And really when you start understanding that, you can really just let go of thoughts, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to think about that, and you can just let it go. And honestly, it's just helped me just to have so much more peace of mind just on my day-to-day basis. So I really hope that you remember this tool and it helps you out, and that you practice it more so it can help you on a day-to-day basis, because that has helped me so much, and I've just become so much of a calmer person, and I've been able to just be able to relax so much more. So I really hope this helps you out and that you find this stuff useful. So if you like the video, give me a like and subscribe, and I'm on all those social medias. I'll leave those links in the description. Thanks everyone for coming and sitting with me, and I hope to see you again.